what fascinated you about crypto, and why you're here where you are, and what excites you about the market.
Good evening, everyone. I think the way we look at it is this, right? Crypto in itself can be construed as an asset class. And I think that's what makes it different. That's what sets it apart. When you start off your career back in the early 2000s, for instance, everyone's talking about stocks, bonds, FX. I mean, those were the things to look at, right? But as the generation rolls into the next generation, you start then to wonder, for the current batch of 20s to mid 30s, what do you look at? And I think crypto digital assets was something that came across very strongly. I mean, it was part of the boom. The biggest story around is the guy who bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins back in the day, right? This sort of shows you the absurdity within this market. But it's an interesting market because if you look at how this market has evolved, there needs to be a balance, and there is space and room for participants who come from that traditional background, who want to bring best practices into this market. And I think that was what was attractive. And I think that's something that we do very strongly. And I think it's the right way forward for this market as well.
Great. Damien?
So for me, I was actually plateauing in JP Morgan overall and in traditional finance in general. I did computer science in undergraduate, and I always wanted to go a little bit back to my tech roots. I started like having a little bit more time to actually look at the underlying technology, and realized that cryptocurrency was a lot more than just Bitcoin itself. And I started exploring all the different technical aspects of it, the decentralized finance, and I found it quite exciting as well overall. Volumes and options overall, which is obviously my bread and butter and my background, was starting to kick off in 2020 in a big way. So when Matrix approached me to say that, hey, we're really building out a bit.com volumes and options, would you like to be part of that? And also, some of the asset management aspects of it, would you like to take care of that? I definitely said yes. I think that a lot of what I've learned in banks overall, the good ways to safeguard assets, how to look at the risk, and also some of the derivatives. It's very similar way of trading, and just bringing it into a space where there's not as many participants with that kind of institutional knowledge.